Before we start the show, I want to quickly plug our socials. Follow us on Instagram at bestyever_pod. Also, we're on Blue Sky, Best You Ever Pod, and on YouTube, Best You Ever Pod. We do share some shorts over there. Please email us. Tell us your thoughts, feelings, questions, recipes, jokes, anything that you want to tell us. You can email us to bestyeverpod@gmail.com. But also, follow, subscribe, rate us on Spotify and Apple Pod. All right, let's start this shit.
Hell yeah. Welcome to Best Year Ever, a movie podcast where each week, one movie at a time, we attempt to answer this very important question. Was 1999 the best year ever for movies? I am your host, Casey Glenn, and with me is my co-host, the disenchanted, sometimes volatile, and unrepentant Jesus Gonzalez. Hi, Jesus.
I don't like this. Am I Jim? I don't want to be Jim.
No.
Oh, okay, good. Oh, no, wait, no, I'm Tammy. Yay! Okay, yeah. Because it could be also Jim, but no, I'm glad I'm Tammy. Hi, Casey.
Hi.
Yeah, a little bit of Mike I was talking about. I am a little bit disillusioned this week, so It fits right now.
It does.
But, it happens. I did not know what to think about this movie. Have you seen this movie before?
I have not. And to be quite frank with you, I think, the first 10, 15 minutes, I was had my hand on the phone ready to message you being like, I don't want to talk about this movie. I said, I don't want to do this. And then it got a lot better and it did not go in the direction I feared that it would. So.
What movie are we talking about?
We're talking about Election.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember if I've seen this movie. It's one of those movies I've seen enough clips. I know enough about it that I don't remember if I've actually seen it or just know about it. Mm-hmm. What was her name?
Tracy?
Lisa.
Oh, Lisa.
Yeah, that was Tammy's not girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
The part with Paul saying, I gave Lisa a ride home and then I got a blowjob. I don't know why I remember that. Paul was the best character and had the best lines. Given I wouldn't blame you if you didn't want to see this movie or didn't want to talk about it, because given the time where this came out with things like American Beauty, which is like this but like creepier, and at least the creeps kind of got a comeuppance. Not enough in my opinion, but they didn't say that it was fine what they did.
Yeah.
But this wasn't the type of movie anyway. But they were in the line. They were kind of like, and they were almost crossing and they pulled back. Yeah. They knew what they were doing. Like, you can definitely see it was written by a man.
Yes.
There's a lot of things that, let's get this out of the way. Tracy, there's a lot of names that are very similar. Tracy was raped by a grown man.
No, straight up.
And she was, 15, maybe 16?
15, 16,
Doesn't matter. Like, nope. What's the dude's name? Dave, which we'll get into. And they kind of looked like Paul a little bit, or they gave the same vibe, I feel like. I don't know if that was intentional or just me.
Oh, like Paul was taken advantage of? Like groomed?
No. Like, Dave is what Paul might become when he grows up.
Nah, no way. No way.
I think so. Because it feels like they were saying that Paul is not going anywhere. He's kind of like, high school was probably the best years, and that was kind of like Dave's whole thing. I don't know.
Paul too happy.
Hopefully, Paul is now, but yeah, there was no mention of the consequences of what Dave did to Tracy. Like, it was never about her. It was always about Dave and Jim. Yeah. So it was very male oriented point of view. So you can definitely tell that it was written and directed by a man, but at least it wasn't American Beauty. Oh, it's fine. Whatever. Men will be men. Whatever.
It was also nice too, because it seemed self-aware enough to be like, yeah, this guy was burned by one woman, and now he pretty much hates Tracy for some reason. He has no reason to hate Tracy. He hates Tracy, but it made him look like a loser for that, which is nice. It didn't glorify Jim and his hatred towards Tracy. which is
what I like about this movie, and I mean, spoilers, nobody learns anything.
Oh yeah. No, not at all.
There's no character arc. There's no hero's journey here.
No.
There's like nobody learns a lesson.
day in the life.
Nobody just they are who they are and they stay the way they are.
Mhm.
Which is a very grim of looking at things, but this is kind of the thesis of this movie. So let's get into Letterboxd. Our very own Casey Glynn. Your review is devastated that Paul and Tracy didn't get together. By the way, you get 4 stars. For a movie you were ready to pause and like, nope, let's do something else. You gave it 4 stars.
I did. It had a 180 for me.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I'm glad that Paul and Tracy didn't get together because poor Paul. I don't know. I feel like
he like softened her, you know?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Because at one point he was like, good luck. And like you could tell she was like, oh, this guy's like genuine. And it was really
Tracy and Tammy should have stayed to get together.
Yeah, I could have supported that.
They could have been like the lesbian super couple, political. Yeah. Just Tracy becomes president. Tammy is Secretary of State or something powerful like that. Yeah. Secretary of Defense. Yeah, they could have been a political super couple.
I can see that.
I'll let you know. The other Letterboxd reviews are kind of all over the place. Mostly positive. People seem to like this movie. But it kind of, the virgin suicides. There were, and also Midsummer Night's Dream. Like Midsummer Night's Dream is about Stanley Tucci. Virgin Suicide was like about angsty. These reviews are kind of all over the place for very different reasons. People like this movie, and I think that's very interesting. This one, this review reads, I don't have a list of my favorite movie characters. Why would I? But if I did, Paul will be at the top. Yeah. This next one, Paul, I feel like that could be one common denominator. This next one, and these are all 4 and 5 stars. Left Side of the Brain, Matthew Broderick is a good actor and he has range. The character he plays here is nothing like any other character he has portrayed. I disagree. And he plays it well. Besides, an actor is more than the movie character he plays, and one role shouldn't define him, especially with his amount of skill. Right Side of the Brain, look at that Ferris Bueller man go.
God, that's so funny.
This next one, love this movie just as much as Paul loves pears or apples and bananas. This next one, dear God, thank you for all your blessings. You've given me so many things, like good health, nice parents, a nice truck, and what I'm told, a large penis. That's quoting Paul. 4.5 stars. My thoughts through this movie. 1, Reese Witherspoon plays unhinged, ambitious character better than anyone else. True. 2, I will vote for the himbo. Why lie? Also true. I would probably vote for Tammy. I would have voted for Tammy. Tammy won, by the way. 3, wait, maybe I would vote for the himbo's lesbian sister. Yep. 4, what do I have to do to become a part of himbo and lesbian sister's family because I love them both so much? 5, Tammy being happy about getting sent to Immaculate Hearts because she's going to be surrounded by hot girls. Lady Bird just couldn't do it. I've never seen Lady Bird.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. At 6, wait, does this movie have the same ending as Portrait of a Lady on Fire, or am I going crazy? Never seen that movie either.
Also haven't seen that movie.
You either die a Ferris Bueller or live long enough to see yourself become Jim McAllister. Never seen Ferris Bueller Day Off either. I think the common denominator, there's a lot of like Paul love. Paul is literally the sweetest character in all cinema history. I voted for Tammy. Paul for President, Progress, Promise, Peanuts. Actually, I'll end on this one because I feel like all of these reviews are just very superficial commentary on the movies. There's not a lot of kind of deep character or not deep character or funny. Like this movie is superficial, but on purpose. Because like I said, there was no character growth at all by design. But I'll leave with this one. 4 stars. This is actually a psychological horror film. That is true.
One more to the bunch, which is from my sister-in-law, Cara Freeman. 4.5 stars. Heart. She saw that I watched this movie. It was so pissed. She was like, I told you I want to watch this with you. And I was like, I totally forgot about that. And I said, I forgot about it to the point where when I went to go review this on Letterboxd, when I saw that Era had watched this, I was shocked. So that's how much I had forgotten about it. But her review is, Paul had no business getting caught up in that silly Midwestern drama. I think that's
But
so
you know
funny.
what? You know what? He didn't even realize that he was in a Midwestern drama
No clue whatsoever.
at all. He was just a happy puppy.
He was, and I love that for him.
I do too. Let's get into the background. Election with a budget of 8.5 to 25 million. I think there's something wrong here. So I'm going to say around 8.5 million. I don't think it was $25 million film.
There's no way.
I get these numbers from Wikipedia, and they have their sources. And yeah, the 8.5 was from like this website that tallies movies by the number. And the 25 million was another like finance website. But that was like, where do you get this from? Anyway.
Yeah. I wonder what IMDb says. I feel like it will have a number on there.
I think so too. Honestly, they check. Box office of 17.2 million, directed by Alexander Payne, edited by Kevin Tent, starring Reese Witherspoon as Tracy Flick, Matthew Broderick as Jim McAllister, Chris Klein as Paul Metzler, Jessica Campbell as Tammy Metzler. Paul being the best character ever.
You have to have IMDb Pro to look up box office. Isn't that crazy?
You also have to have IMDb Pro to modify your own IMDb. Would you have IMDb? Who has?
Era. I should ask her.
Why? Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's so funny that the budget, like, nobody can agree on it.
Right?
Also, like, there's no way that this movie cost $25 million to make.
No.
Yeah. No.
I mean, the only known name actor there was Matthew Broderick, really.
Yeah, because Reese Witherspoon I don't think was popular enough yet.
Oh,
I will say my first fun fact, Chris Klein, who plays Paul, this is his debut film. Isn't that crazy?
It's not American Pie? When was American Pie?
I think it's after 1999.
It's 99.
Oh, okay. Wow, so same year.
So same year, but yeah, so this was first then, I guess.
But so he was a student at one of the high schools that they were seeing if they could film at when he was discovered by the director. And I think that's just phenomenal. Like, crazy.
He kind of looks like a high schooler. Reese Witherspoon, kind of, but maybe because it's Reese Witherspoon, I don't see it.
She looked incredibly young to me here. So, like, I fully...
Yeah. Well, yeah, they all were, but she was 23 or 24. I think she was your age.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
She looks itty bitty. I think it's also because of the hair, to be quite honest.
Yeah, because of the hair. The rest of the high schoolers, I did appreciate that about this movie. They kind of look like high schoolers. I wish because of the teachers' involvement, creepiness, this was in college more than anything. But yeah, this wouldn't have worked better as a college film. It had to be a high school.
Yeah.
So before we get too much into the movie or get into the movie, you didn't go to public schools, but I feel like you would be a lot like Tracy if you had. I think you were a tryhard. I think you were...
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Like maybe there's a little bit of evilness to you that Tracy has.
Yeah.
And I was going to ask you, they kind of spoiled it, but I was going to ask you, like, what side of the political spectrum do you think Tracy went? Democrat or Republican? I think it doesn't matter to her. I think she's
interesting. Yeah.
I think she just wants power, but whatever it is. Like if she would have got together with Tammy, she would definitely be Democrat because lesbians, but ends up being Republican. I am surprised that you're not in the political sphere. I can see why.
Talking to too many people for me.
I was gonna say, I think you're too lazy to do that. I don't think, because you can be an extrovert when you want to, but I think you're an extrovert introvert. Like you need your you time to research, like I do. Like I'm an extrovert introvert, but being political, like I had a friend who was very political, and it was just exhausting being near him. But I think, you were heading that way if you would have just sliding doors, which I just watched that movie for the first time yesterday. It was fine. You could have been in Tracy.
I see it too. Yeah, no, that's very fair.
Also, just picturing you with blonde hair is terrifying.
Even though you've already seen it. You've lived through it. You've lived through blonde.
I have?
I guess technically I had silver hair. I had gray hair.
You did? Did I know you back then? I don't remember that.
It was back in 2023.
When did I honestly don't remember when I met you.
We met in 2021, but...
Casey, it's because I felt like you've always been in my life, obviously.
Well, there you go.
It's not that I just have no clue when I met you.
Yeah.
I remember where I first became aware of you. We've talked about this. And then the first time you made me feel really old also. But I'm fuzzy on the years.
Really quick. Apparently, Reese Witherspoon originally wanted to play Tammy. I think that's funny, and I think it supports your desire to see Tracy and Tammy.
I'm glad she didn't, because she plays a perfect neurotic overachiever.
So good.
Yeah, just like the way she kind of tightens her lips when she wants to like I've seen that face in you, but people too. Just made it. All right, do you want to get into the?
You start off, opening credits, whatever, on a black background with the sound of a sprinkler. Then we get the shot of the sprinkler. You're old. Maybe you have some insight into this for me. Why does it do the thing where...
I don't think this is an old thing.
Well, why does the sprinkler work that way? Why is there like a little lever that like goes up and hits the water?
Before the sprinkler, the MTV / the mountain, Paramount Mountain, pure nostalgia for me. All of that, pure nostalgia.
Wow.
Just give me the warm fuzzies. The sprinkler noise, I always thought, and I don't know, the pressure of the water hitting the metal is the thing that made the sprinkler go like round. But here it just stays in one place. It doesn't move. So I don't know why it's doing that without moving.
Now we're both confused.
But also, it's very Freudian. Like, it's very obvious what it's trying to say. Like, it's because, and also, yeah, Jim was horny throughout this whole movie.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So the fact that you see the sprinkler like that spraying all over the place, and then Jim, metaphor.
Boom. But yeah, we do see Jim. He's like running around the track. He's like doing push-ups. He's exercising. It's super early in the morning. We see him walk through the little gate of the football field or whatever, and it's like this weird zigzaggy thing. I've never seen that before. Don't love it.
No, I get
claustrophobic.
Yeah, I don't like it either. I've seen it. Like a lot of in Mexico, they're kind of like that. I guess crowd control, but yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, he I guess is in the school locker. He showers, he gets ready, and then we cut to Tracy putting up a table, putting a shit ton of gum in a bowl, and getting everything ready so that people can sign off on her nomination for student body president.
I love the music cues change between Tracy and Jim, because Jim was kind of melodic and not super energetic, but cut to Tracy, very militant. It's almost like a march. You hear that immediately. And it kind of goes back and forth between Tracy. And then as she's doing what you say she's doing, getting ready, the ending part of that scene is a natural split screen, like in camera, because you have the wall where Tracy's setting up her things in the hallway where Jim is coming by, and like you get both sides. So like immediately the movie tells you this is a versus. This is antagonist, protagonist. I don't know which one's which. I think they're both antagonists to each other.
Tracy did nothing wrong.
And us.
Tracy did nothing wrong.
She did. She ripped off the posters and blamed everyone about it. She literally did something wrong. She did that wrong. She had
a mental breakdown. She's a teenage girl.
And then she didn't acknowledge it.
Yeah, no, she let somebody else take the fall, but it also benefited the person taking the fall.
Yeah, but she didn't know that. All of the
Why would somebody take the blame for something unless it benefited them?
In general, Tracy's a victim just because of what happened with the friend. I will say that because I started hating Tracy, but then it's funny how you identified with Tracy so much. But then I'm like, she's kind of the victim, and it was about how I wish they could have. This movie didn't need the plot point of Tracy and Dave at all.
Yeah,
I hope that was out of this movie so I could hate Tracy with a passion. Which I don't, because I can't, because she's a victim. But let's go on.
See, for me, this movie is like
friendship over.
Maybe. This is a movie that, like, if I have a daughter, like, I want her to watch this one day to know, like, so that she's prepared for a world in which if you go after what you want, and if you're not the sweet, nice girl, people will hate you and people will go after you. Like, I feel like this is a cautionary tale to women.
You're not wrong. And the fact that it was a lot of men in decision-making position in the movie made it this tone. But I do think that if we go by this movie, Tracy was the type of person that would go out of her way to get what she wanted, no matter who she steps on. That part,
But she
that
didn't.
part. No, she did. She 100% did.
She did the poster thing.
She
had
did
a
the
mental
poster
breakdown.
thing, and
What else
then
did she
didn't
do?
acknowledge it.
No, she let somebody else take the fall, which is
Yeah.
what a regular teenager would do.
No.
If somebody else was wanting to take the blame for it, I'd be like, say less.
No, you would. I didn't. I wouldn't, and I didn't. I remember being in positions like this, and like, no, I didn't. But I'm like that. I'm just I'm just weird like that. You know, honest and a good person generally like that.
Yeah, you got that Catholic guilt.
You
Don't
do.
worry. It's not for altruistic reasons.
Shut the fuck up. You're not wrong. All right, let's go. Let's keep going because I'm gonna be a little bit lenient, but I am gonna point out because I didn't like anyone in this movie except Tammy. That's the only character I liked. Even Paul, he was like too much for me. Like, you're too stupid. You're too dumb.
Well, so we see Jim go into the teacher's lounge or whatever. He's clearing out a bunch of old food from the refrigerator, throwing it in the trash can. He misses, and he gets a food of or a container, a Chinese box, on like the floor. Jander passes by, sees it, and just he clocks it. This is very important. Comes back later.
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
He's pissed, obviously, and then he moves on with his life.
Which I do think that Jim saw that and cleaned that up.
Oh yeah, I do think Jim saw that and cleaned it up too. Because we also see him pick up some litter later on. Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna put something real quick. Right before this, Jim is reading the paper. He opens the paper. Usually these papers are made up for production, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know if this paper is made up for production. It doesn't seem like. I don't know if the Omaha World Herald is a real newspaper or not. But up and above the title of the paper, there's a little insert of one of the characters of Starship Troopers.
Mm.
And if this paper was done for production, that is very purposeful because Starship Troopers is a satire movie about fascism.
That's so funny.
And world state. So and a movie that when it came out, a lot of people didn't get that. A lot of people didn't realize that the protagonists of that movie were Nazis.
That's so funny.
It was a satire. Like the filmmaker was like, this is obviously you're rooting for the bad guys. But because they're fighting aliens and insect evil looking aliens, you're gonna root for the humans, but the humans are little Nazis. Space Nazis.
That's so funny.
So the fact that little piece is there, I think it says a lot about this movie also. If it was on purpose. Maybe I'm reading too much and giving too much credit to this prop. What?
So I'm looking because I saw something about the newspaper in the trivia. And so this is what I had to go back and find it because I didn't think it would be relevant, but you're talking about it, so it is. In the text of a newspaper article in the film, it says, if you paused the film in order to read this entire article, your time would be better spent renting Citizen Ruth from your local video store. Do you know how hard it is to write these fake few stories for newspaper movie props? I've got better things to do. So there you go.
Hey, I didn't
think it was intentional.
You think it was intentional?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They did the Starship Troopers reference.
It's a great. You should watch it. It's a great movie.
That's very funny.
Actually, that is we might gonna do that. We are doing that. Is that in my top 5? It's in my top 10, not in my top 5 movies.
Mm-hmm.
But we might do that one.
Anyway, moving on. So Jim passes by Tracy and he's like, wow, you've got it set up, early girl. And she was like, you know what they say about the early bird? He was like, yep. You can tell that there's tension here. There's hella beef. You can tell that he doesn't like her. And then we get the voiceover from her where she was like, this is all, everything that happened is his fault. He shouldn't have gotten in the way of destiny, which I think is so funny.
Yeah, so there's some great quotes. She said, you can't interfere with destiny. That's why it's destiny. Mm-hmm. I like that one. It's stupid. It's saying the same thing twice, but I like it.
Yeah. Then we see him reading the newspaper. He's in his classroom. He is talking about how much he loves his job. Thus far, he's been a really great teacher. I think, he's been teaching for 12 years?
Something like that, yeah.
And, he won awards. He was really great with the students. He really cared. He was, which I think is sweet. Love that for him. Where we see him teaching to his class. He teaches history, ethics, whatever, current events. And I think he asked the question of what's the difference between morals and ethics or whatever. Tracy is in his class. She raises her hand. He does not want to call on her. Once again, we're seeing this tension. He calls on somebody else. They struggle to answer. They kind of answer. He asks another question. Somebody else raises their hand. He's basically like, y'all are close. You're not getting it correct, though. And then finally, he calls on Tracy. She starts to answer the question, and then we get a freeze frame, which, of course, Reese Witherspoon did not love.
That was a great freeze frame.
Yeah, we get the backstory of what happened. Tracy. Yes.
Well, we get first her point of view, because we get his point of view, and then we get her point of view. Mm-hmm. I can agree more with her point of view. I don't think he's a good teacher. I think he thinks he's a good teacher, but a good teacher would have either told Tracy one-on-one, or maybe he has, or in front of the class, hey, we need to give a chance to other students. It's not all about you. I know you know the answer, but let's get the other students help. And then, hey, you have all this energy, Tracy. Why don't you help these other students get to that level? And then, because it's boring, you're obviously so smart that you need some competition, so let's get your competition. I'm not a teacher, but I've had that experience with other teachers, because believe it or not, Casey, sometimes I was a Tracy, and a professor told me that you don't have to always know the answers.
That's so funny.
Because that's the thing about me. When I like a subject, I really get into subject. I'm a nerd. That's what we do. We obsess on a singular thing, or autistic, whatever you want to call it. Nerd, autistic, same thing. But kidding. I've never been diagnosed, so who knows? And if I'm an autistic, I'm the worst kind of autistic. Anyway, like I've had that conversation. So I do identify a little bit with Tracy. Not so much. Yeah. If I identify with anyone, it's definitely Tammy. But I don't think he's that good of a teacher as you think he is.
No, and it's kind of hard to tell because like we don't see him truly before from like an objective standpoint. We just like get his recollection of how he was as a teacher. But I can see this moment, like he's already sort of targeting Tracy. But yeah, we do get her perspective of like she was involved in all these clubs. She was a very active student. She was a tryhard, essentially.
Yeah.
So then we jump to Jim's perspective on Tracy. And then we cut immediately to his former friend, Dave. Is that his name?
Yeah, Dave.
Yeah.
It's a very jarring. Oh yeah, one more thing about Tracy. And then we get the
anyway. Yeah. We learn that his friend Dave has been hooking up with Tracy. His friend Dave is a fellow teacher.
Fully grown
Red
adult.
Flag.
on obviously Dave, but also on Jim. He should have brought it up immediately.
Yeah, knew. And he scolds Dave, but obviously he doesn't care enough to like out Dave and be like, you're a fucked up human. Like, should immediately report you. He talks about Dave and how he's the guy that never like grew up, still stuck in his high school days, which is very funny. Disagree. I feel like that's not this actor. Like this actor doesn't play the character still stuck in high school.
No, he doesn't.
I feel like this could have been a better acting choice. Or like if it was more like Dave was never popular in high school, therefore he's like, that's why he's still obsessed with this. Because Dave looks like a complete fucking nerd, you know?
I think we've seen this movie and it's called Never Been Kissed.
Yeah, there you go. We see that Dave and Jim were really close friends. Their wives were friends. They were the godparents to Dave's child. Dave is a father, putting that out there. And then we get the perspective from Tracy on their relationship where she, you know, talks about how it was mutual. They talked both as like, they were talking to each other as adults, even though this is a very clear grooming situation. This is textbook.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I do appreciate that throughout this movie, especially in this montage, it's very clear that Dave is the predator. And even the way it's framed, because there's a scene where, and I think this is where Tracy's kind of narrating it from her point of view. And when they go into the bedroom, there's a very creepy scene of Tracy in the hallway, and you just see Dave's giant hairy hand kind of grabbing her towards a bed. Like, as you put like a horror movie soundtrack behind that, and that's a horror movie. So I did appreciate that about this film.
Yeah. And especially like the conversation that they have that like started it, right? He immediately is trying to get her into that, oh, you're so lonely, you're so isolated. Like he is bringing her into that headspace, which I think negatively impacts her for the rest of this movie because she keeps thinking about it.
Yeah, that should have been, that's why I keep saying that she's a victim in this whole thing. Maybe that's why this scene was in there. I just wanted to hate her without any remorse, but I can't. By the way, this whole "you're so lonely and you're smart and brilliant and beautiful" conversation, very similar to the Ferris wheel affair conversation in Never Been Kissed with the teacher and Drew Barrymore. It's the exact same conversation, honestly.
I know. Why are we teaching men how to be groomers? Crazy. But
these men was wild. Right? The nights were wild.
So we see Jim and Dave talk, and he's basically like, Tracy and I are in love. She wants to read my novel. And he's like, what fucking novel? He goes, that's the thing. She wants me to like write it so that she can read it. And so I'll finally do it now.
So dumb.
And then Jim talks about like morals and ethics, and his friend is like, what's the difference? Basically, what ruins the whole thing is that Dave writes this weird little card about let's go to Maui to Tracy, who's like still in high school, and the note says, Tracy, let's go to paradise. Love, your teacher, Dave. P.S. I really, really need you now. Cringe. Eye roll.
I think even Tracy felt that was creepy. I feel like even Tracy was like, this is not what I want.
Yeah. So eventually tells her mom, oh, thank God. And then mom tells principal.
Or the mom found it? Or whatever.
I think she told her mom.
Yeah.
Is the vibe that I got. It was like, Tracy and I are in love. Is sobbing.
This is great pathetic acting.
Yes, really good pathetic acting. And of course, Dave gets kicked out. And I don't think we see him for the rest of the movie until the very end, where it's like, where are they now? Segment.
Yeah.
Cut to today. Tracy, Jim finally calls on Tracy in the classroom. She starts to answer, and then the bell goes off. But yeah, I'm like, sorry, I'm just watching it. Tracy talks about how she feels bad. As she's leaving the classroom, she's looking back at Jim. She's like, I feel bad for him. He has to teach the same thing every year. And he's just like stuck in a rut, blah, 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 blah.
So I think she's not wrong.
Yeah.
I think she's correct here. So like, and that's why I think Jim, because the teacher loves his trade or their trade, I think they're going to find how to make the students better. But when he talked about being a good teacher, he was just talking about how what he is doing, not what the students have like taken out of like his teachings and class and all that. So yeah, I think he's trying to convince himself that he likes the job. But yeah, I think Tracy is correct. He's stuck in a rut.
Yeah. We then get background on Tracy. She's raised by a single mom. She's an only child. Her mom has put a lot of pressure on her to be an overachiever, an overperformer, to do all the things that she didn't get the opportunity to do. And how I thought this part specifically was really cute. This part I'm about to talk about. But basically her mom would send letters to really successful women, basically asking like, what's the advice that I should give my daughter? Like, in order to be successful, which I think is pretty adorable. But yeah.
I don't think she was a great mom.
No, she wasn't. I think that's the best thing that she could have done for her daughter, though.
Yes, but yeah, you're right. Like she put too much pressure on her. Oh yeah,
so much pressure. Then we cut back to Tracy. She's talking to some students, I guess, about her campaign. These two look like burnouts, take a shit ton of her gum. And she's like, put it back. She's upset. Obviously, she paid a lot of money for that. And they basically tell her to like, fuck off. End of school day. She has all of her signatures. She runs out to Jim's car. He's about to leave. And she's like, hey, got all my signatures. And you can tell he's very uncomfortable by her or around her because I guess the whole thing with his buddy. But it's like, that's not her fault. It's not like she's trying to actively seduce you.
Even if she was.
Yeah.
It was like, no. Obviously, you're a 16-year-old. I have zero interest in you.
Yeah.
That should have been it.
Pretty easy.
But nope.
But he's like trying to blow her off and like whatever. She's like, no, can you like look at the signatures? Can you sign off? Like, I want to start my campaign tomorrow. She talks about Coca-Cola, which is really funny because we see him drink Pepsi throughout the entire movie. She's like, Coca-Cola is incredibly successful because they spend so much money on advertising. And therefore, I need to start my campaign tomorrow. And he's like, okay. whatever.
I like that. She's Coke and he's Pepsi.
Yeah, I like it too. I'm a big fan. But she can tell that there's like some beef, like there's some tension, and she's like, I just want us to work really well together. And she's super uncomfortable by this.
You're a teacher.
She's just a girl.
I know. She's annoying as fuck too, but like,
yeah, she do be annoying.
This is why I wouldn't be a good teacher, because I would have I don't know. I was gonna say I would have be annoyed by students, because I do get annoyed by people sometimes just because they're people. Mm-hmm. But I think I want to think I would get over it, although I don't know if I would get over annoying people, because I was an annoying student. I was very annoying for different reasons.
We see Jim drive by a dumpster. He's throwing away all of his trash. We see him throw away a Pepsi bottle. He throws away the signature erase. I'm just now catching that. I didn't notice that the first time.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't necessarily come back to...
No, and I thought it was going to, but yeah.
We see that we get, I guess, some more insight about Jim and his relationship with his wife, Diane. He was like, she's, my best friend. We've been married for 9 years. We're closer than ever. We see them having dinner. They're not close in the slightest.
No.
Very strange. It feels like very, whatever. He can't sleep. He keeps thinking about what Tracy said. I hate this man.
Is this where you were ready to text me?
Yeah, low key, yeah. I was like, if we keep going too far down this...
Where is this going? This is the movie was kept pulling back, fortunately, on things like this. This movie knew what he was doing.
Yeah. We see him go down to the basement. This is why I think this particular moment is why I think that this movie surely was not made with a $25 million budget, because we see him go into the basement to do the 90s thing of, whatever, jerking off in the basement.
Oh, the porn
VHS tape. Yeah.
See, I never have a porn stash because the internet's for porn, as we now know. So
yeah,
it's boring now.
This basement, they didn't change anything about it. All of the stuff belonged to the person that owned this house that they were filming in, and they didn't move any of it. That's a living space, which I think is very cool. Makes a lot of sense, because I'm like, why the fuck does somebody at his age have so much shit? This is cluttered to hell. But yeah, he opens up the fucking porn stash. Of course, he picks the high school related one of the cheerleader and the jock, because he's having inappropriate thoughts about Tracy.
It's called Touchdown,
which is very, very funny. But in this moment, he gets the idea, because we know that Tracy is not running. She's not uncontested. But this is where he gets the idea to use Paul, who was the quarterback who got injured in a skiing accident and can't play football.
Really funny thing to me was that the porn actor in the movie playing a high schooler, he had a bald spot.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's obviously it's porn and everything, but I feel like that's a little bit of commentary of, in the 90s, 30-year-olds playing high schoolers. And I thought it was really funny.
Broke a bone. He can't play football anymore. He has this cast on throughout
skiing or something.
Yeah, he was skiing, broke his bone. He has a cast on throughout the rest of the film, which is really funny. We get this great shot of him looking out over a lake, and he's like, what is my purpose? What does God want from me? Why did I exist? It's so funny.
He's a puppy. He's great. He's a puppy. This is where I thought this movie was going to be great, because I didn't expect his narration.
I was very excited when we get his narration.
Yes, and this is my argument for the Virgin Suicides. I would have liked this structure for that movie, of the different point of views and the different unreliable narration, because they're all unreliable narrators. They all lie on their own narration. Maybe not Paul, but Paul doesn't know anything.
Maybe not Paul, but yeah. So Paul is like, I don't know what my purpose is. He's reading a self-help book about figuring out your purpose. And then, of course, because Jim has had this brilliant idea, he taps Paul on the shoulder, pulls him aside, and basically convinces Paul to run for student body president. And Paul's like, huh? Why? This isn't my wheelhouse. And then he does the whole, if all you've known is apples, but now you have an orange, wouldn't you pick the orange? Meaning Paul is the orange, Tracy's the apple.
So I have or banana.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a fun fact. According to the director, he wanted circles to be around Jim, around the character, signifying that Jim is just going in circles. Like his life is just a loop. I don't know how well that was translated in the movie because I didn't really see that motif of circles. A lot of movies are very purposeful on color and shapes and things like that, and you can kind of see it. I don't think that was that successful here, but there was definitely intention that circles signify Jim because he's just going around in circles in his own life.
I think it became really clear to me of like, oh, this man was in a rut, like truly just like stuck in his day to day. When we get the time skip and like you see him, his hair is completely different. He has it cut different, style different. And I was like, he's like enjoying life now. He like was not enjoying life at all, but didn't really pick that or
I don't
clock that.
Damn it, Casey. You're gonna convince me that Tracy did nothing wrong. I mean, I'm convinced already, so whatever.
That's awesome. Thank God.
Let's continue. I still hate her.
That's fair. You can like not like her because of her. I think that's a pretty valid take. One thing I did want to mention is that they shot in a real high school and they were filming while classes were going on. So if they were doing like a classroom scene, I think sometimes you can hear some background noise from an actual class that was going on like the next room over, which I think is pretty cool. I love it when movies have to like coexist with like real life, you know?
Yeah, I could just think of the production nightmare. Do you know if the background actors were high schoolers from the same high school? Because
I definitely know for the gym scene, yes. And like they use the real actors and real students. I'm not sure if that was true for like every scene.
Maybe not the feature extras, but in general, they all look like high school. Especially Larry, who for some reason really hated Jim. Well, I mean, I know why, but yeah, which I know that guy from Final Destination 5. I was happy to see him.
That's so funny.
You should watch that movie. I'm gonna make you watch that movie.
No. So we see Tracy has started her campaign. She's putting up a poster that says "Pick Flick." Great campaign. She is looking around and she sees that Paul is running for president.
Yeah, very 50s looking campaign, and her whole vibe is very 50s. It's very,
especially with that hair, you know.
With the hair, yeah. Like you know the campaign. I like Ike. I think this is one of those campaigns that really started. Oh, this is what a political campaign should be. So, like, this is the type of, and if you look at this, it feels very much like what she was doing. Like even with the picture in the middle. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Huh. That's pretty cool. She sees Paul running for president. She gets pissed. We get this like great moment of her just walking through the cafeteria, crazy eyes. Yeah. She goes up to his table. He immediately he gets super. He's like, "Hi, Tracy." I think Paul had a crush on her. Yeah, I think
Paul had a crush on everyone.
Yeah,
no, I think Paul would be happy if anyone holds his hand or give us a blowjob, as we learn.
He is so happy. It's so cute.
He's excited, which I feel bad for Paul because he's not playing football. No. He's kind of like lost. And then Jim kind of take advantage of that.
Jim grooms a student in the same way, obviously.
Not in the same way.
Yeah.
He did picture Tracy while fucking his wife. But it was so cringy, which was meant to be cringy. I did like how Tracy, as a narrator, starts saying, "Oh, I didn't fucking mind that he was running for a campaign." like it was happening real time, even though it was talking about the past. But like, I really like the unreliable narrator part of this movie.
Yeah. She asks Paul like who put him up to this, and he was like, "Oh, I was just thinking about doing." And then he like mentions Jim's name, and she was like, "Of course, like you up to this." She gives a signature for him to run for president to show that she's totally cool with it. Totally fine. She makes buttons. She obviously has a lot of jealousy towards Paul because, you know, he has a mom and a dad and he has a truck. We see her on the school bus, even though later we see her driving a car. Maybe it's her mom's car. I don't know. But yeah. And then we get Paul's narration. He's pulling up to his family's house. And then we cut to Tammy and her girlfriend, Lisa, hanging out, hooking up. Lisa is basically like, no, I don't want to do this. We are just experimenting. It's not that serious.
I appreciate this about this movie. All of the actors look pretty average, normal looking people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They kind of look like high schoolers, maybe not Reese, maybe. They were 20-something-year-olds, but yeah, you can kind of still. I think Lisa stood out of these. And I'm just looking at her picture, like Lisa now, like a grown woman, gorgeous woman. So I think Lisa was cast as Hollywood idea of a high schooler more than the other actors. To kind of emphasize that object of desire aspect of her.
That's fair. Paul busts in because he's just excited to talk about like how he's going to run for student body president. Obviously, Tammy is upset. She's like, "Don't you knock?" And then Lisa runs out, and then like Tammy goes after Lisa.
No, wait. Tammy says, "Don't you knock?" And Paul, he did knock.
It's so funny. Then we get freeze frame. Tammy's like, "I'm not a lesbian or anything. I think about like what's inside, and it just happens that I've only been attracted to girls." It's so funny. Also,
she's so intense. She's so intense.
So yeah, peak suburbia house that we see. Tammy runs after Lisa. This is where Lisa was like, "We were just experimenting. It's not that serious." Tammy's heartbroken. We get sort of the background of their relationship. We see immediately that Tammy is way more into Lisa than Lisa is into Tammy. Lisa keeps trying to curve her. Tammy's not taking a hint. Pretty much.
Tammy at one point writes to Lisa something along the lines of, "If I die, I want them to cremate me and so you can drink me," or something. It was super weird.
Or like, "I want to be like entombed with you," or whatever.
Oh yeah, something. Yeah. Like, "You die, I want to be like with you forever."
Crazy.
My God, I'm sure I wrote something like that at one point in my life.
Yeah, because you paint words.
Shut the fuck up. This is why I am Tammy.
We see her looking at like an electrical setup, whatever. She talks about, what is the belief? If you sit between the power lines, I don't know, something happens. What is it?
I completely missed that part. I didn't know what she was saying.
They say if you lie between two of the main wires, your body just evaporates. So homegirl's going through it.
But she was sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
No, you just get cancer and die.
Right. We cut back to today. Lisa's just driven off. Tammy's heartbroken. She's like, "Lisa knew exactly what to do to hurt me." And then we figure out Lisa has now pursued Paul. Obviously, Paul does not realize that anything was going on between Tammy and Lisa. He thinks that they were just friends. So, yeah, they start dating.
Yeah, this is what Paul says. "I sure was surprised that day Lisa asked me for a ride to her home, ended up blowing me," which is a line.
Mm-hmm. Then he talks about how him and Lisa made a great team during his campaign. She helped take photos and like do the press, and Tammy is stalking them. She watches them hook up in a hot tub. She's devastated. And then what does she decide to do? She decides to also run for president, even though she's a grade younger than Paul. So Tracy loses her shit, and she's like, "Hey, she shouldn't be able to run. She's just a sophomore," which is a completely valid argument, right? If the student body president is going to be the senior the following year, like, you know, I think that makes sense, whatever. And basically, Tracy and Lisa on Paul's behalf are upset that Tammy is running, and Jim just does not give a shit. He's like, if she has the signatures, it doesn't matter. So we cut back to Jim's personal life. He is hanging out with Diane and their godson and Linda, who was Dave's wife, who he left.
I forgot who was it, the godson.
Linda is just living her life. Obviously, fucking Jim objectifying her, checking her out, talking about how him and Diane haven't had kids and, you know, they've been trying for over a year or whatever. Once again, we can tell there's some pent up sexual aggression, whatever. He keeps checking out Linda as he's helping her out around the house because she's single now. He's making eyes at her. He takes her to the mall, whatever. He makes a pass at her. He's like, she says something. I don't remember exactly what she says, but he's like, "Oh, you want to get a motel room?" She's like, "That's not like funny."
Yeah. Throughout all this, we do see Jim and Diane trying to have kids because they're trying. And all of Jim's sex scenes are super awkward.
super.
So weird. But you don't really get a sense of why there's like, I don't know, tension, but maybe he's just bored of his marriage. I think he's just bored.
Yeah.
Like it's like I think Tracy is correct in that he's stuck. He's in a rut.
Yeah.
So he's just trying to find something.
He gets home after making a pass at Linda unsuccessfully. He does the thing that is like a trope in these sorts of situations where he comes home. His wife is like, how was it? And he was like, oh, well, you know, Linda, she's just like a bit much. So he immediately turns on Linda because she rejected him. He doesn't tell her the truth of what happened. Obviously not. Another awkward sex scene between him and his wife where he imagines Linda saying the things that Diana's saying, and then he imagines Tracy saying the things that Diana's saying. Piece of fucking shit.
The most fuck me, very aggressive.
Yeah.
Also, I thought it was hilarious that they were having sex doggy style. So you can only see the back of that, and then the very awkward. And at first I thought, why? That's super weird. But then they put like I'm like, okay, I'm glad they did that because I want separation from the high schooler and the teacher. And yeah. But it was whole thing very weird. Matthew Broderick, and this is why I disagree with that review. Like, I think that he plays this character really well. Awkward, weird, makes you uncomfortable. It's just not good.
Hearing the other people that they had in mind for this role, I am incredibly grateful that they went with Matthew Broderick. So the other people that they had in mind were Tim Robbins, right? Shawshank Redemption. No. Horror movie.
He could have. No. You're right. Tim Robbins has an edge that Matthew Broderick doesn't.
The other two people, Tom Cruise.
No. Immediately no.
And then Tom Hanks.
Oh no.
I know.
I would have liked that movie though with Tom Hanks, but I think he would have been too likable, Tom Hanks, just because it's Tom Hanks. Because you don't want to like Jim, and Matthew Broderick makes sure you don't like Jim. He makes acting choices that you don't like Jim. He doesn't try to be lovable. I think Tom Hanks doesn't have a choice. I think he just is lovable.
Yeah, for sure.
You know who has a really good same acting choices and same acting vibe as Matthew Broderick? Colin Hanks. Who? Tom Hanks' son, Colin Hanks. He's in Fargo. You've seen him things.
Yeah.
He has that edge. I just saw Nobody too. And he's in that as a bad guy. And he's great. He's a great bad guy. Like an asshole bad guy. So yeah, I think Colin Hanks.
Anyway, we get to like a school assembly. We only have one contender for vice president. He's in a wheelchair. He has this really funny line, and he said, even if I can't really stand up for you, I will.
He should have been president. Why was he running for vice president?
I know. What a shame.
Yeah.
And then everybody gives their speeches. Tracy's is pretty generic. She quotes Henry David Thoreau. If we can't make our days longer, let's make our days better. Those same bullies that, took a shit ton of her gum. Interrupt her speech.
Casey. Yeah. I know you didn't run for school president because
I did not.
You didn't have a school. Homeschool. But that would have been your speech, right? Right? That would have been.
No, because she said nothing.
Exactly. You would have done the thing.
You should have seen. I
Casey?
gave a graduate. Hold on. Here's the thing. I gave a graduation speech. I've spoken in front of more than 7,000 people before. My speech was fucking awesome. So I've done this before. I'm just saying.
I believe you. I hate it, but I believe you. Graduation from where? Oh, from college?
It was community college. So when I graduated with my associate's degree first. It's bomb-ass speech.
Oh, just such a Tracy.
I know.
Yeah, but this is high school. I'm talking about high school Casey. Hypothetical high school Casey. I feel like
it would have been
college.
About
I feel like
Bible
college.
Quotes. Yeah.
I feel like college Casey is a badass. I feel like hypothetical high school Casey would have been very close to Tracy, and a lot, but equally as generic.
I don't know.
I keep saying like I was a different person from senior high school to when I graduated college. Although mine's a little different because I did college twice. and very different also, liberal arts. But I don't know. I'm talking about high school Casey and high school Jesus.
That's fair.
In high school, I was more Tracy than Tammy.
Yeah.
By college, I was definitely Tammy.
Yeah. I think this is where I'm coming from, is that I was disappointed in Tracy's speech. I was like, she didn't even talk about one thing or one way or imply a way that she wanted to make their days better. I was like, she can't even like be a little bit more concrete or specific.
Yeah, politics.
You know, I was just like,
that's politics.
I know, but
especially in the 90s.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like now it's more let's not talk to brown people politics. But in the 90s, it was a lot more generic.
Tracy gives her speech. She gets interrupted. The principal steps in. Of course, not Jim, even though he should have. Principal steps in and is like, shut the fuck up. Then Paul stands up to give his speech. Everybody's already so excited. They're cheering for him because he's a popular guy.
I feel so bad for him. I've been in his place.
His speech, I think, objectively better than Tracy's speech.
Objectively better, yes.
But he
was so nervous.
So monotone.
Yeah.
No pauses.
No.
Says everything at once. Everybody's shocked by his poor delivery of his speech. Also, the way that he's leaning over the mic. It's so adorable. I just want more. You're so adorable.
I know. It's so funny he plays the same character in American Pie.
That's really funny. I've never seen American Pie, so no.
It's fine.
Okay. He looks so happy whenever he stands up and he's like, I've given my speech, I did it. And then like everybody's just kind of shocked and like, huh? And then Jim starts the applause, everybody claps. Paul doesn't know any better.
No. He did he thinks he did a great job. And you did, buddy. You did.
You did a wonderful job. Tammy goes up there and she's basically like, none of this fucking matters. Who cares? It's her disillusioned speech. Nobody
10 years
could make
later,
anything better.
She would have definitely said, down with the patriarchy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. She basically is like, if you vote for me, I'm not going to do shit. Nothing's going to change. And then she's like, you know what? Just don't vote for me at all. Actually, don't vote for anyone. Principal, vice principal, and Jim all go into the principal's office. Principal
By the way,
is pissed off. Yeah.
Everyone cheered way too much.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, sure, her speech was cool. I would have cheered, but this was just over the top. But I will say, this might have been a unreliable narrator kind of thing. Like she saw it like that. We don't really get clear from whose perspective is this assembly, but I feel like it was from her point of view, and she saw like overcheering.
Yeah,
I would have cheered, not that much.
Yeah, I wouldn't have started chanting. The chanting was the thing that was
chanted. People were standing up. There was standing ovation. Like, come on.
Principal's pissed. You know, people love freedom of speech until it's somebody else's speech. And Jim steps in. He's like, you can't like you're limited here in what you can and can't do, because obviously like you can't just like tell her not to run. Like that's not fair. And the vice principal is like, you could send a message and you can suspend her, which is still fucked up. Principal's like, you know what? Yeah, we will suspend her. Tammy's like, hell yeah, I got suspended. This is great. This is PTO. She's riding her bike, smoking a cigarette. She sees a soccer game going on. Maybe just practice. A bunch of girls soccer team. Realizes that the school is called Immaculate Heart. The gears are turning.
Oh, I didn't get that. I didn't know why that was in there, but that's fun. Okay, cool. I was suspended a couple of times.
Crazy.
From middle school and high school.
Crazy.
Less in high school, more in middle school. And I had the same thought as Sammy. Like, how is this punishment? I'm watching cartoons all day. This is great.
That's
and
really
my parents tried to be mad at me, but they couldn't because I was just like, all right. But one time I was suspended and my mom was proud of me because I was suspended for standing up to a teacher that used to yell at people. He was like the buddy teacher, but then he would get mad at the kids. And by the way, I did have a teacher in my high school that got involved with one of the students. And then he got fired.
Thank God.
He was like the hot teacher still. But yeah, this guy, we used to call him the sapo, the toad, because when he got angry, his like eye would pop, and like he would get super red. He was very white because he was super red, eyes popping. And he was yelling at me once. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Don't yell at me. And he got mad. He sent me to the principal, and I told my mom what happened. And she's like, yeah, you shouldn't be yelled at. Like, no.
Hell yeah.
But then I also was like not a good student, so I did do a lot of things. I broke a lot of windows.
That's insane. That's crazy. Yeah. Anyway, we cut to Tammy, listen to music, vibing, dancing, as we all do.
That was cute.
She sees somebody shoving some stuff under her door.
Also thought that was cute.
And then she opens the door. It's Paul, and he's like, "Oh, hey, like I was just giving you your homework. Like I didn't want to see you fall behind." She's like, "Thanks. What do you want?" And he's like, "I just want you to know, basically, I really I love you. I care for you. No matter who wins, there's no hard feelings." He does do this stupid thing of like, even though you're adopted, you're still family, which is like, okay, shut the fuck up.
Why was that in there? There were a few things in the movie like, why is that in there? Weird.
She clearly did not fit in with this family. I think I was glad to know that, like, that's why. But we then see a shot. Tracy has people helping her paint a sign that says, who cares? I do. Vote Tracy. She talks about doing the yearbook and having to cut Dave out of all the photos. Sucks that she has to do it herself. But you know what? She's learning Photoshop. So good for her.
That was a weird little insert of technology of like, look what we can do now. Like that was kind of like almost a Photoshop product placement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like that was like someone discovered that in production and like, that's so cool. We need to put this in.
We need to advertise it.
Also, fun fact, I think I've told you this, but the guy who invented Photoshop is the guy who pitched Rogue One. Same guy.
Hell yeah.
Don't know.
I don't think you've told me that, but that's awesome. So Tracy, because she does all these extracurriculars, she's at the school late. I think even on the weekend. She sees her poster, Who Cares? I Do Vote Tracy, is like sagging and like the corner has folded over. She puts it back up. She walks away. She hears it flap back down. So she does something really stupid. What she should have done is grab a chair from a classroom, stand on the chair, put the poster back up. What she does instead, she grabs an empty trash can, turns it over upside down, stands on it, and helps to secure her poster. She falls. She rips her poster. This is the moment. We've heard this multiple times. Anytime she sees competition, which is the Navajo Joe theme, which is used at the end of Kill Bill Volume 2. Plays in the background.
Because I was trying to talk about the movie because I wrote it down, the music sting there. I heard, is this Ernie Marchioni? Or, okay.
Yeah.
Because I first heard Akira, which is similar, but then I did hear Ernio. So I kind of like that it was that sting. Is it modified? Because there's like you see like that Western or high pitched kind of sound, but then you hear a really weird and awkward scream. Was that in?
No, I think that's
all in.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was done for comedic effect.
No, I don't think so. She snaps. She has a complete mental breakdown. Makes sense. She does way too much. She's burning the candle at both ends, which is what my parents told me all the time growing up. She snaps.
Doesn't surprise me.
She tears down all of Paul's posters because she accidentally ripped her own poster. I'm sure Tammy didn't have any posters out, let's be honest. She tears down all of Paul's posters. We see after she's done the damage, she looks down at her hands, and it's like very clearly like those could not be paper cuts in the slightest. But her hands are torn up with a shit ton of paper cuts, which like also doesn't come back in any way, shape, or form.
No, but that was just for like it was part of the I kill someone type like vibe.
Exactly.
I paused on the Paul Metzler poster because he was trying to come up with a slogan at one point, and the best that he could do is Paul Metzler, you Betzler. Bet -ZLER and then two exclamation points.
advertising movie. Tammy is sitting between the power lines again. Sees a car driving up suspiciously, realizes that it's Tracy carrying a huge fucking garbage bag and throws it in the dumpster. She eventually, I guess, we learn later that Tammy goes to the dumpster, realizes what's in it.
Very convenient that she was there.
Jim is back at Linda's helping clean a drain, which I hated that shot.
Me too. I same.
Yeah, but
I bet Samuel does that same thing over and over. I just
Wait, does what over and over? Cleans a drain?
Cleans your dirty ass hair from the drain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I do the same fucking thing. I have a thing that kind of.
No, I was like, I can't look at it. I know it's my hair. I said, I can't look at it. Be gone.
To be fair, because I have a thing that it's like a little string that has hooks on it, so you can just do and then it grabs everything, which is great when I discovered that. But I do clean it by hand from that thing. I just grab everything and just put a little ball. Just put a little ball. Just eat it a little bit. Just taste it.
I'm gonna vomit. I'm literally gonna vomit. Linda makes a pass at Jim.
Kind of. They hugged and they lingered.
Yeah, and she told him, take your time, and then they fuck.
Yeah. Did they fuck?
Yeah. They
fuck. I thought they fucked, and then when she said, let's go to the motel, then I thought, oh, maybe they just kind of made out and then they were going to fuck, because Jim did a whole thing about that motel of like putting flowers and stuff in this dirty-ass motel.
Yeah.
So, by the way, flowers from Walgreens. So much product placement.
Exactly.
So, but regardless, yeah, she later says that Jim took advantage of him. She was vulnerable, which I agree with. Also, again, awkward fucking / making out scene.
Yeah.
They kind of awkwardly fall into the floor.
Yeah. Then he pulls up at school feeling like hot shit. And then there's, an issue with the posters. Lisa's crying. Paul's like, I think we have some extras we can put up. Just totally chill. Not a big deal. Lisa's like, we got to find whoever did it. Jim is not paying attention. He's thinking about Linda. Then Jim and Tracy have their standoff where basically he's like, I know you fucking did it. And then they have this whole thing of like, he starts talking about his friend. How do they phrase it? They're like, if a certain somebody hadn't done X, Y, and Z.
They were I wrote down passive aggressiveness. Oh my God. Yeah. I kind of hated this about Jim of bringing that up. And almost blaming her about his friend getting fired. Not almost. Blaming her. And then
because he's like, you use people, you step all over them.
At this point, I was agreeing with some of the things that Jim was saying up until this point. So like, no. Yeah.
Because once again, the only fucked up thing that she's actually done is tear down the posters. Because she didn't fuck over Paul's campaign or Tammy's campaign. Like, she was upset that Tammy ran, but she hasn't done, and she also hasn't used people.
No, she can't. She's not that likable.
No, I mean, but people help her, which is funny. People will help her, like, paint her signs or, like, whatever, her posters, but, like, she doesn't have anybody that she's, like, close friends with.
I think people help her that are in a club with her. So they're not helping her, they're just doing the club.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think Tracy did nothing wrong except the poster thing, and she didn't confess when she could have done that.
Yeah.
That is problematic that there was no part of her where she wanted to confess. But with a mom like that, with a trauma that it's not talked about with Dave, I can't see how she needed this. So she was going to get it.
Yeah.
I still don't like her because she's fucking annoying.
That's fair.
But
not like somebody.
I agree with you. She did nothing wrong.
Thank you.
Are you happy now?
I am. Thank you. My favorite line of this confrontation is he's like, a certain somebody, a former colleague of mine made a very big life mistake, blah, 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 blah. And she goes, but maybe if a certain older, wiser person hadn't acted like such a baby and gotten all mushy, then everything would be okay. Which I was kind of like, oh my God. But I don't know. To me, I think her saying, like, if Dave hadn't gotten too lovey-dovey mushy, it's kind of trying to make her out to be a bitch of like, he was just too in his feelings.
Definitely the director putting her in a power position that she was definitely not in.
Yeah, where I feel like it was probably more so, like, obviously it was wrong from the get-go, but she probably started feeling comfortable when he did, like, the whole, like, I'll leave my wife, I'll leave my kids, and, you know, obviously she's like, you know, like, that's gonna freak out sort of person.
To be fair, not be fair, to put it in context of the era, and I'm gonna be using passive-aggressiveness language, like a certain someone director that we have seen a movie of did leave his wife for a 12-year-old. in that same era.
One thing that happens in this confrontation that, like, really just puts, I think, the nail in the coffin for Jim is he says, well, somebody should thank their lucky stars that the entire school didn't find out about this indiscretion. You're blackmailing a student? Tracy has a great clapback. She was like, maybe if a certain someone and their colleague weren't leching after their students, especially when one of them can't even get their own wife pregnant. Crazy. How did she know this?
Also, so I think this is part of the unreliable narrator. I think this is from his point of view. Like, I don't think she said that.
Yeah.
I just think he said that. But
she just made him feel very inferior.
Yes, very, like, and that was just him justifying her being evil. She wasn't. But I don't think she said that. I think that's how he took it.
Yeah.
Like, how would have she read the script? That's how she knew.
Yeah, duh. And basically, he's so stunned. The man was too stunned to speak. But she also basically says, like, if you're going to keep questioning me, I want an attorney present. Because her mom is a paralegal, so, you know, obviously she's going to throw out the law. Tammy knocks on the door, and she's like, hey, you want to talk to me? And he's like, not now, in a minute. And she was like, okay, but, like, is this about the posters? He goes, we'll talk later. Like, he's, like, trying to brush her off. And then she's like, okay, but I know who did it. And Tracy's freaking out. Tammy comes in. They swap places. Tracy is trying to spy on, like, what is happening in the room. Tammy says, oh, it was me. I did it. Because obviously she wants to get expelled and go to Immaculate Heart School. So she's taking the L. Did you not realize that's what she was doing?
No. I just thought
she was trying to get into an all-girls Catholic school.
Did not get that at all. I thought she was just kind of like, I hate life. I'm going to kill myself with a spoon. But also, how did she know that was what's going to happen?
Because most of the time, I feel like especially in the 90s, it was super popular of like, oh, if you have a bad kid, you got to send them to Catholic school with everybody of their own gender.
Or military school, I guess. Yeah. I would have liked maybe there was a scene cut of the parents, because the parents didn't appear. Tammy and Paul's parents didn't appear until after this. But I feel like there could have been a scene of them threatening Tammy. If you don't behave, we're going to send you to that school. And then that would have clicked more for people as stupid as me.
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes I need those breadcrumbs.
But he comes out and Jim is basically like, Tammy said she did it. Both Tracy and Jim know that Tracy did it. Everybody here knows that Tracy did it. But everybody is acknowledging that Tammy is taking the fall for it. Yeah. And Tracy is letting her. You know, she's trusting the system. That's how I like to frame it. And then basically Tracy overplays it and Jim is like, girl.
Yeah.
Chill, walk away.
Take the win. It's just
which is very funny. Jim is now preoccupied thinking about Linda. He gives his students pop quizzes, and then he leaves campus to go to Walgreens, get a box of chocolates,
funny.
Get some champagne, set up the motel room, runs back to the class. Like, as the bell is about to ring, he collects the pop quizzes, and does he run to her place? Oh yeah, he picks her up.
Yeah.
Or he
goes to his.
Yeah, Jim goes to Linda's place to pick her up. She's not there.
But when he said pop quiz, did you think in your head, pop quiz hot shot? Because that's what I thought when I heard that. Pop quiz hot shot.
I'll do it again. Pop quiz hot shot. Pop quiz hot shot. Anyway, Jim is ready to get his freak on. Linda's not answering the door. He goes into the backyard. We see all these apples. Apples are used in this movie as a premonition that something bad is about to happen. I guess Linda has apple trees.
Oh.
These apples.
Beautiful backyard.
Gorgeous backyard. Production did have to like manually tie the apples to the branches, which I think is very funny. Because that does not look like an apple tree.
Very fake.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. And he gets stung by a bee in his eye or eyelid. Yeah. He goes back to the motel. He calls Linda at her house. No answer. He waits for a little while longer. And then we cut back to Tammy getting scolded by her parents, getting punished by her parents. Her parents are so funny. Her dad is like ridiculous. She doesn't care. Yeah. And then finally they're like, you know what? The nuns will straighten you out. We're sending you to the Immaculate Heart School. And she smiles. And they're like, do you think this funny? She's like, no, not at all. I totally don't think it's funny. I'm totally not excited to go to an all girls Catholic school.
I did not get that. I know. I'm not.
Tammy's playing 4D chess and you're playing checkers.
Yep. Friendly.
Jim leaves the motel. He goes home very quietly, opens up a beer, and then hears a baby.
Yeah. That was so good. That was really good. I honestly thought, because I kind of knew Linda's going to tell Diane. Mm-hmm. Like I felt, and I thought that when Jim gets to Linda's house, Diane was going to be there. I thought that was going to be, but I like this better, the delayed gotcha moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He peeks around the corner. He sees the women crying. At first, what I didn't know until a little bit later, because he calls her multiple times after this to try to understand what the hell happened. And then she was like, what we did was a mistake. I wasn't sure if at first, if she was actually into it. And then like, as the day progressed, regretted it and was like, oh my fucking God, which is, I think, what happened. Yeah. Or if she was trying to catch him and like,
no,
like, you know what? My husband was a piece of shit. So like maybe hers is as well. Like I got to say for the heartbreak.
No, I don't. Yeah. I think what happened is she regretted it later.
Yeah.
Which any normal human being would.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, he peeks around the corner. He sees the women crying and he goes, okay. And then he leaves. He gets the hint.
So I like that. Yeah. He's so defeated.
Yeah. Incredibly defeated. We go back to Tracy's room and we get the shot of her praying. She's like, hey, I think she's like, I don't pray to you. Like, she's not a religious person.
I thought it was more around the lines of, I don't usually ask for things. Like, she prays, but she doesn't. She's not the type of person that asks for things. That's how it got. Because you definitely get the I don't believe in you pray from Tammy.
Yeah.
But from Tracy, I got more the, I need this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. I love Tammy's prayer because she was like, look, I don't believe in you, but I'm going to have to start like low-key believing in you. So I'm just getting used to this now. Which I thought was really, really funny. And then she's like, I want Paul to win the election tomorrow, not that cunt Tracy. Hysterical. Also, I don't know if you noticed, all three of them have fake Tiffany lamps on their bedside table.
I don't know what that means.
It's a type of lamp with the stained glass.
That's cool. I didn't know that all three of them have really high ceilings. But I did like that. I did like that shot. This movie had surprisingly good shots sometimes.
Yeah.
It wasn't consistent, but yeah.
Paul gives a very genuine prayer. He's like, I just want what's best for the world, and I want Tammy to know that she's loved and help her be a happier person. Very sweet guy. It's adorable.
He's too adorable. He's gonna have a fridge full of saber heads in the future.
No. Jim wakes up. He is sleeping in his car outside of Linda's house. He looks like shit. His eye has gotten a lot worse.
I kept writing, go to the hospital.
No, my God. Exactly. He pees on the tree in the front yard. Apparently Matthew Broderick was actually peeing here. Crazy.
I thought he was going to get caught and then he was going to go to jail. to add to everything that's happening.
Exactly. He gets to school looking all sorts of fucked up. Tracy and her mom are setting up for the election. They have a bunch of cupcakes.
Tracy is being nice here.
Yeah.
And I think genuinely nice.
Mm-hmm.
To be a little more on your / Tracy's side, I don't think she was just want to say, fuck you.
No.
You look like shit. I think she was like, oh, are you okay?
Yeah. He eats a cupcake in a very weird way.
Very weird way.
He just eats it, whatever.
Like face first or bun first or whatever. But like paper and all. I think he ate some paper too.
Exactly. He's taking a shower in the locker room bathroom again. And he's making fun of Tracy. Like, my posters got torn down. Can I have an A? Can I have a recommendation? Like, whatever. Like, he's in a bad fucking mood.
Yeah.
He goes to the teacher's lounge. He makes a call to Linda again. And of course, this is where he's angry. And he's like, you've ruined my life. You ruined Diane's life. How could you? Whatever.
So usually when I do the starring off, like I see the cast, I'll take it from Google more than Wikipedia. I like Google because Google tends to put not only the more prominent actors in the movie, but also the more like people that you would know. So usually the first 2 rows are people, or the first row at least, people you know, and then the rest. And in Google, number 6 in the row, like top row, is the lady that makes the announcements to introduce the principal. And I have no idea why. Her name is really Carver Marilyn Tip, and it looks like she's been in a bunch of movies. So maybe she's one of... No, actually, no, I'm lying. She's been in 4 movies. Oh. So I don't know why she's there. Google, don't fuck up or something. Anyway.
The principal makes an announcement that Tammy is no longer eligible to be voted for because, she no longer goes there. And then everybody votes. And you see Tracy, she votes for herself, which is what, the average person does. And then we get Paul, who is so fucking tall, he could probably look over the voting booth into somebody else's, which is very funny. But this is a moment where we get, I think, a really sweet interaction between Tracy and Paul. She's walking out, they run into each other, and he's just like, hey, Tracy, good luck today. It's so exciting. And I think she, realizes, this guy's, genuine.
She doesn't know what to do with that.
No.
She's never had this interaction, sadly.
Yeah. That's very sad.
I know.
Paul's like, I don't think it's right for me to vote for myself. I'm going to vote for Tracy. So sweet.
That's obviously the vote that won the election for her.
Yeah.
Also, you tell high schoolers do not vote for this person. They're going to vote for Tammy.
Oh, yeah.
So I like that most of them did vote for Tammy.
Yeah.
I think wasn't it most of them?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess other members of the student government association come in with the box, and Jim is at his wit's end. They're basically like, well, you got it, we'll do the count and then you do the count. And Jim is like, fine, we'll both do our counts, whatever. I'll leave you here. And he's like, we need the key to unlock the box. Jim fucking just breaks the box open pretty much. And he dips out. He calls Linda again. Linda picks up. He's like, I love you. And she's like, no, I was lonely. It's not that big of a deal. So successfully curved. He finally gets the hint. He goes back into the classroom. They've tallied up the votes. And he's like, well, what's the vote? And the student is like, it's an independent. We got to do our independent counts. So I can't tell you who I think won, or who I counted as the winner. Jim is pissed. He's like, this isn't the fucking Pope. What are you doing? Who did you count? It's like Tracy won by 2 votes, or by a vote.
Speaking of that, have you watched the Conclave? You need to watch the Conclave. You're gonna love it.
He is now counting the votes. While he does that, Tracy peeks into the room, gets one of the other students' attention. She's kind of seeing if there's any update. He gives her a thumbs up. So he told her that she won. And she's very excited. She's so happy. Jim looks like he might do the right thing at first, but then he sees her celebrating and he saw that she was spying, and then he throws away 2 of her votes.
I cannot understand that impulsive choice.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I don't like her face, but I do like that her character is not completely morally good.
Mm-hmm.
She does things like a stereotypical moral TV or movie person wouldn't have asked hey, did I win? But like, I feel like a normal high schooler would have asked. So
yeah,
that seemed a little realistic, but I don't know. Jim did a very dumb thing.
yeah. And I
He
think it was
should
just
have.
because he was mad at Linda. Honestly,
Yeah.
he was mad at Linda. He was mad at women.
He was spiraling.
Yeah,
I get it.
he hates women now. And yeah, so he throws away 2 of the votes. Then the principal does the tiebreak count, and he's like, "Yeah, sorry, kid. Jim's right. Like, you counted wrong." And the student is like, "Well, how many like votes total did you count?" And the number's not right. And he was like, "Well, that means 2 votes are missing." And Jim was like, "Well, people pocket their votes. Whatever." This student knows that something is like fishy. Something isn't right.
But by the way, the student is the guy from Final Destination 5. That's
So
that
funny.
guy.
Great. Like, great casting.
Yeah. Yeah. He actually looked like a high schooler.
Yeah, exactly. Tracy has been told that she won by her classmate. She says something like nice to Paul. She's like, "You've run a great campaign. Good luck." And then she's like, "Okay, now when they announce my win, I'm gonna like be chill. I'm gonna act surprised." Right as Jim is about to announce it, she stands up, and then it's announced that Paul won, and she's shocked. Paul's super happy. She's crushed. She's devastated. We don't see the full extent of it until a bit later, but it was pretty heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do feel bad for her.
Yeah. We're at a restaurant. Jim is eating by himself. Paul and his parents show up. His parents meet the teacher. They don't say anything about his eye, which I was shocked about. They're very kind. And Paul talks to Jim, and he's like, "I got a couple ideas. We should do a haunted house. This should be the homecoming theme." He's so excited. Homie. And we realize pretty much that Paul just loves planning parties.
Yeah.
He's a good party planner.
Yeah. What did Tracy do? Spoiler, she wins. But what did Tracy do as a student? What is the responsibility as a student president?
Well, I think Tammy's right. Student body president doesn't do shit.
Yeah. Because we see a montage of her approving things, but I'm like, I think Paul would have done parties, and that would have been it. And that could have been better.
Exactly. But yeah, Jim basically tells Paul to fuck off, and he's like, "You have all year to talk about this." Turns out it's like he won't have all year to talk about it. He will just have that night. We see Tracy having a complete meltdown, sobs.
We see first Paul saying, "Do you think Tracy's okay? I feel bad for her." And Jim is like, she's fine. Cut to her just bawling.
Mm-hmm.
Great, like ugly acting.
Yeah.
Try acting from Grease.
Her sobs are like so realistic too, which I really love.
Feel bad.
Yeah. Her mom gives her probably a Xanax low key to calm her down. And then as her mom, I'm thinking, oh, her mom's like really sweet, really nice. As her mom is leaving, after just consoling her daughter, she's like, "Maybe you should have done the things I told you to do. Maybe it was her posters."
Yeah. Like
yourself.
You should have tried harder, basically.
Yeah.
Bad mom.
Mm-hmm.
All the adults sucked in this movie.
Oh my God, yeah. Jim goes back to his house to try to reconcile with Diane. She closes the door in his face.
He half-heartedly tried.
Yeah. It was not.
No. I'm glad they didn't have kids. Yeah.
He stays at the motel, a typical vending machine incident where he doesn't get the thing that he paid for, so he fucking is busting or punching the vending machine. He wakes up the next morning. He was like, "You know what? It was all just like a really bad dream. Diane and I will work on it. Like, we'll figure it out. Everything will be fine." He gets to school. He's called into the principal's office. We see, left to right, the student that knew something was wrong in Final Destination 5, Tracy's mom.
He's so tall, by the way.
Yeah. Tracy's mom, vice principal, Tracy, principal, janitor from the start of the movie.
Who's definitely a serial killer, the janitor.
Oh my God, yeah. Absolutely. Janitor saw that homeboy had thrown away 2 of the votes and decided to reveal his crimes.
Why did he do that?
Because of the Chinese takeout box that he threw on the floor. Because
we see that inserted. It's so funny. I feel like that scene went on for way too long, but I was okay with that. It was really funny.
Yeah. Cut to Spanish class. Jesus, what verb are they talking about here?
I was hoping you would get this joke. I didn't know. Casey, did you get that joke? Because
No, IMDb trivia had to tell me.
no, so disappointed. Because we cut to now we have to tell Paul, and then Paul says "yo pierdo," which means I lost in Spanish.
Spanish teacher is like El Presidente, which is very cute. He's like blushing, and then he realizes that he lost. And of course, Jim has to resign because why the fuck did he meddle in a student election? Crazy. Literal insanity.
Yep.
Where the ending of the book and the ending of the movie diverge. So I'll talk about the ending of the book later, but basically this becomes a whole media scandal and he has to leave Omaha, Nebraska. We get basically the where are they now sort of situation where Paul we see 1 year later in college.
He threw his parties that he wanted to.
He has his party. He threw a great fucking party. This party looks awesome.
Yep.
At his dad's cement factory. He talks about how Lisa dumped him.
It's a weird last line of Paul of saying, who knows what would have happened? Or maybe I'll end up with Lisa or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then he says, or maybe I'd be dead. Looking at the camera very ominously.
Yeah, so weird.
Like, all right, why?
Yeah.
I didn't get that.
Tammy's having a great time at her all-girls Catholic school. She's smoking in the bathroom. She has a new love for life.
Just way too intense.
Yeah, she said, we're never ever going to be apart. So fun.
I almost saw the cut to the new girl dumping Tammy. And then Tammy falling in love with another girl again.
I know. Tracy's killing it. She's doing great.
Is she though? Because she's sad.
She's sad. But like she's, on the surface, she's successful. She thinks about Dave. She was like, I miss our talks. Like maybe something could have happened. I don't know. I wonder what he's doing right now. He's working at a fucking... looks like an Ace Hardware. Pretty boring. She talks about they get, I guess, their senior year yearbooks. Nobody wants to sign her yearbook. She's very sad. But she sees how everybody wants to sign Paul's. And she's kind of like, I don't know, maybe Dave was right that like I'll just always be lonely, which sucks. It's fucked up. And then she thinks about how she doesn't really think about Mr. McAllister, Mr. Jim.
But she does, obviously.
Yeah. I think she thinks about him a lot less than he thinks about her.
I think they think about each other equally. I think it's like...
Nah.
Well, yeah. I don't know.
Tracy graduates high school. La-di-da. We cut back to Jim and his life now. He's in New York. He's a museum tour guide. So basically he's still getting to like educate and teach. He has a really nice, sleek haircut. He looks happy. He is living a much better life.
Wait, can you go back slightly and kind of say where he is?
New York City?
In New York City. Yes, and it looked better on me in New York City.
Oh my God.
That's immediately what I thought about. New York City.
Fair enough. Jim is, he's much happier. He lives in a smaller apartment. They seem to really get along and be happy. And he talks about, like, one day I did, like, run into Tracy Flick. He was in Washington, D.C. for a conference. He's walking. He sees her across the street getting into a limo from a hotel. What is it?
Did they say what the title is?
Yeah. But basically, he sees her, and he's like, all of the bad memories came flooding back. All the things he says are really funny. My first impulse was to run over there, pound on the window, demand that she lied and cheated her way into winning the election, which she did not. But instead, I just stood there, and thinking about all the exciting things that I'm doing and what her life must be like. And she's probably getting up at 5 a.m. and pursuing her pathetic little dreams.
I feel like her life is more exciting.
Sad. Yeah, he's like, my life is so much better than hers. Like, she sucks. Where is she trying to get to anyway? Why is she in a limo? He starts just getting really angry. Who the fuck does she think she is? And then he throws a Pepsi drink at the back of her limo. And then he runs away like a fucking coward.
So when we see her with this representative, I thought he looked like Al Gore.
That's funny.
And then you kind of say there's a little attribution that says who he is. And
it doesn't say who he is. It says who she, like what she's up to.
No, it says Representative Mike Giger, Republican, Nebraska.
Oh.
So, and I don't know if, I'm not going to research this, but I don't know if he's a real person or not. But he looks like a real person. So I thought it was funny that they put her squarely on the Republican camp.
Yeah.
What a looking.
No, I don't
Have
think
you-
he's a real person.
Have you seen Legally Blonde?
Have I seen Legally Blonde? I grew up on Legally Blonde. Are you kidding me?
You
Who
kinda
the
became-
fuck do you think you are? Let me just pull out the gym.
You became the Art of the Covenant, and my face is melting now.
Mm-hmm.
She's not Elwood's,
No.
but she is Elwood's nemesis in that
Oh,
movie.
yeah. Oh, and then finally, the final shot of this film, he asks a question. He goes, anybody? Anybody? And he sees this girl who's really excited to raise her hand. Anybody? He doesn't want to call on her.
And this is how you know he's not a good teacher.
Yeah.
And also, this is how you know nobody learned anything.
No, not at all.
Everyone
And
stayed
this
the
is how you
same.
learn that a man can get hurt by one woman and he will take it out on the rest of the women in his life. That's fucked up. But original alternative ending that did not test well, thank God. The original ending of the novel that they did film and then reshot was that Mr. McAllister, Jim, working at a car dealership, and Tracy goes to visit him before she leaves for college, and they both apologize to each other.
No.
Now, what did Tracy have to apologize for? Tearing
For
down the posters that didn't impact
so
him?
needy and annoying. Yeah, no, she didn't cheat her way into the election. She actually She actually did win the election. If she cheated, we didn't see it. He cheated. He had a lot of issues, and he took it out on a student.
Mm-hmm.
She was fucking annoying. I would not have gotten along with her in high school.
Yeah.
I would have stolen all of the gum from her bowl,
Yeah.
and I would have drawn on her posters.
Funny.
But yeah, I think you're right. I don't think she did anything wrong. I don't think Sammy did anything wrong, Tammy, and I don't think Paul did anything wrong. I think the adults were the villains in this movie.
Absolutely.
So
What else is new? You know what I'm saying?
especially for a 90s, this wasn't a kids movie, but all kids movie in the 90s, adults were always stupid and dumb and evil. So
Yeah.
this kind of felt like a kids movie, but it wasn't.
One aspect of the original ending, whenever they settle their differences, is that she has him sign her yearbook. That is kind of cute.
I like that he didn't learn his lesson.
Yeah.
And he didn't apologize to her, because I like how nihilistic this movie is.
Yeah.
Of like, nothing matters. Like, this movie was written by Tammy.
Yes, 100%.
Do you want to do awards?
Yes.
All right, we have 3 awards: Best Actor Ever, Worst Actor, Best Scene Ever. Casey, Best Actor Ever, and why is it Paul?
Yeah. Chris Klein, for this being his debut movie, homie probably never acted before, but was just, and he might be playing himself, that's fine. But I thought he was phenomenal.
I'm going to give it to Reese Witherspoon.
Also valid.
I feel Chris Klein did a absolutely great job. You gave it to him. I'm going to give it to Reese.
Yeah.
She did great. Don't think this was her first. I think she was a child actor before this, right? But you can tell, like, she had a lot of range. I never thought Matthew Broderick has been a good actor. Speaking of worst actor ever, why is it Matthew Broderick?
Wow. Very interesting. Very interesting. For me, worst actor ever goes to Delaney Driscoll as Linda. Yes, Queen, give us nothing. I thought she was very incredibly monotone.
Yeah.
And awkward.
Yeah, but I feel like that was also the character. It's just generally awkward. But because all of her scenes were awkward. But yeah, she didn't do much. I'm gonna get to Matthew Broderick. He just annoys me. There's a movie. I'm not gonna be fair, and I'm just gonna give it to Matthew Broderick. Best scene ever.
I think for me, it is when Tracy sees that Paul is running. That's when we get the first Navajo Joe sting. And just the way that she walks across the lunchroom or whatever, the cafeteria is really funny. Their interaction, Paul is really sweet. She's like just trying to suss it out. I thought both of their performances, whenever they were on screen together, I thought it was electric.
Reese and Matthew? Wow.
Like, I thought they or not Matthew. No, Paul.
Sorry. Yeah.
I thought they were so good together, like on screen.
You really wanted them together.
I did. But I think like even on like an acting level, I thought they played off of each other like phenomenally.
I'm going to give it to, you're not wrong. I'm going to give it the I don't know where to start from, but I think I'm going to start from when Jim wakes up and says, this is going to be a new day and everything's going to be great. Up until, I know this is technically 2 scenes, but up until he gets caught. And then there's like a quick dissolve at the end where he said, I resign. But the whole like just when he gets caught and there's no dialogue,
Mm-hmm.
and there's just the camera going from face to face for way too many times, and then it just kind of goes really fast. That was super funny to me.
Yeah.
So stupid, kind of unnecessary, but I loved it. It was great. So Casey, very important question, and I think I know the answer to this question. My dogs are barking. Is it not the saying when your feet stink? Anyway, my dogs are barking.
Oh my god, yeah. Old people do say that. Yeah.
Oh, fuck you. Yeah, you're not wrong. Very important question, Casey. Solely based on this movie, was 1999 the best year ever for movies?
Yes.
I'm going to give it a yes, too.
Apparently, Barack Obama really loves this movie, so...
Yeah, that was one of the reviews that I saw. I don't know what to think about that. The review specifically says that this is one of Barack Obama's favorite political movie.
Mm-hmm.
Was this a political movie? I don't know if it was.
I think yes and no. I think it was like a political vibe movie.
It was a political vibe movie.
What?
No, I'm agreeing with you. I said it was a political vibe movie.
I thought you were... I couldn't... Sorry, I didn't hear what you were asking, so I was like, wait, what?
I get so offended. What the fuck did you just say? Oh yeah, what are we going to watch next week?
What are we going to watch next week?
79, The 13th Floor. Is that a Stephen King? I think that's Stephen King.
This is a 1990. Oh, wait, no, this is not. This is a different...
Oh, it's based on a novel by Daniel F. Galuyi.
This is a sci-fi movie.
Is it sci-fi thriller?
No, this one is.
Oh, it's sci-fi. Oh, this looks interesting.
No, it has a 28% on Rotten Tomatoes, so that's really funny.
Ooh. All right. This is a good one. I'm kind of excited because it looks really bad.
Mm-hmm.
No one recognizable, really, right?
Yeah.
It looks really bad.
It does.
Which could be good. Who is in this movie? Vincent D'Onofrio. All right. Okay, actors here. But who knows how much he's in this movie. All right. That'll be next week.
We're going full sci-fi.
Full sci-fi next week. Excited. Bye. Was Tracy the villain of this movie? Was Jim the villain of the movie? Did this movie had a protagonist? I don't think. I think they were all antagonists to each other. And nobody had a character arc. So by definition, I think they were all the antagonists. But do you agree with me? You can email us to bestyoueverpod@gmail.com, DM us to bestyouever_pod on Instagram. We are also on YouTube, bestyoueverpod. You can leave a comment there. We do release shorts, and we just released our very first full video review, our Halloween special, and we'll be doing more of those if you guys like it. But as always, please follow, review, subscribe on Apple Pod, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast.